Sure.
How does Virgilio Martinez's search in restaurants in Europe and Colombia lead back to find his identity and purpose in Peru? Did he leave to? Oh, did he have to leave Peru and come back to his country to find the disappointments and surprises that were enriching?
Did he have to leave home to find this?
I believe he didn't necessarily have to, but it was a good idea that he did, because he definitely expanded his knowledge of getting the idea of wanting his customers to understand his food, because he had to understand other cultures and how they put together their dishes to make their customers understand their kind of food in their country. And he was like, okay, so this is kind of what I have to do, because he was getting customers saying, oh, I feel like I'm in London, I feel like I'm in Paris, and he just felt like he was doing something wrong. So once he got an idea of how they do things, he kind of took that idea back to Peru, and he was finding these really like extravagant ingredients that not a lot of people would use in their food, and it really made his customers like see that this is how Peru should be. So, and I think that his exploration in all these environments and restaurants in other countries definitely led him to being able to understand what he had to do to get the same reaction that they were getting in those countries in his own.
Awesome.
I think the last group said this as well, but it was like he went to go work in like all these different restaurants, like in different countries, right? And like, say it was like traditional like Chinese food, right? And they made it, right? And they're like, you don't say it.
Yeah.
Listen, no, because I don't remember like exactly what he went to, but like, you don't say, oh, I think I'm in London.
Right.
I eat Chinese food. Like, so he wanted to like incorporate that in his own restaurant, because when people ate in his restaurant, they didn't think, oh, like I'm in Peru. They didn't get that like idea of it, like the identity of it. So he used all of that from everywhere else he was, so he could incorporate it.
All right. Definitely. For the record, there actually are great Peruvian Chinese restaurants that were like formed in Peru, and now they've come to the United States and Europe. They're not Chinese restaurants, they're not Peruvian restaurants, they're Peruvian Chinese restaurants, like a fusion. You know?
Yeah, in Savannah there's this one fusion restaurant that I really like when I go there. It's literally called, well, it's Orange Fusion.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a mixture of Peruvian, Chinese, and Japanese food.
Wow. Wow. In Savannah.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So to expand on what Sydney said, I think he really did have to leave Peru to find those disappointments and surprises, because otherwise he wouldn't have learned to truly appreciate his own country, his Peru, and the ingredients that grew there. Because when he was out just exploring the world, going to each different restaurant that he went to, he always thought to himself, well, I feel like there was something missing here, something that I could have done better. And it usually had to do something with Peruvian cooking. Just like when he was in France, where he wanted to include more Peruvian dishes into the cooking as well and into the service, but he was never allowed to, and this both surprised him and it disappointed him, and it all led back to him coming back to Peru and really finding what he needed to make his own restaurant and just make his own way.
Wow. Very good.
I'm sorry, Well, I believe that it wasn't on his journey to leave his country. I don't believe it was just for the improvement of his dishes and his food, but it was also to find himself as an identity, to find the experience among his people in his native homeland and his nature, of his country. And I believe this was necessary in order for him to fulfill his current progression throughout his restaurants. And he had to change his whole menu in order to progress in himself and for his family and his family's money. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Legacy. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah.
No, I don't want no more. I just said everything I was gonna say.
All right, can I ask you a question? All right, Teresa, because why I asked you this question, because you're in a different stage of life with them. You're senior, okay? Is it your desire to stay in Marietta your whole life and settle down, or you want to get out?
No.
Tell me about getting out.
So like, I really wanted to go to University of Kentucky because I feel like it's like a really like nice. It's nice out there. The campus is nice. I feel like the school itself is nice, and I meet like a lot of new people because Kentucky's like more so a diverse school. But right now I'm looking at UAB because it's a great medical. It has a great medical program.
Alabama and Birmingham?
It has a great medical program, and on top of that, like I get away from like the things that I'm used to seeing every day. Like I could literally close my eyes and drive down my street and name every single pothole, every single different type of tree, every single twist, turn, slight turn, when I'm turning at my mailbox, whose house is before it. I can name everybody on my street by first and last name. And that's just not like the life that I want to live unless I'm older and I'm ready to actually like settle down into a house, a permanent home, and just live out the rest of my days. But as of right now, like me being a teenager and me being young and wanting to explore, I can't sit there and be in the same environment that I have, like that I'm in now. Like I feel like I need to get out and explore. That way I can find out what the world is really like, if I really wanted to do it or not. Like yeah, it may be a mistake to me, but it may be the best thing that I've ever chosen. So like I just feel like everybody should have that chance to get out and to explore something that they're not used to get a different taste of like what's out there in the world. There's so much out there in the world, and we're used to one little piece of it, not even 1% of it. So.
All right, so say you get the University of Alabama, Birmingham. I've had students go there. Okay, you get into the third semester, second year, and you see this flyer, and it says, at the same tuition price for University of Alabama, Birmingham, study in Busan, South Korea. Would you do something like that?
I don't know about South Korea, but
All
All
right, give me a country you would say.
I'd love to go to like either Spain or Italy.
All right. So go to Florence, Italy for a semester with the opportunity to travel to all the other European countries.
Yeah, I would definitely do that. Like that would be a different type of experience. Like I feel like to get out of like the state that you're in, like to get out of Georgia is one thing, but to get out of like the United States and North America is like a whole different experience because there's like different cultures, different traditions, different everything around there. Like it's the biggest like different experience that you could have, in my opinion. So.
Very good. Anybody want to tackle that one? Would you go abroad?
Yes.
I would definitely want to go abroad. That's just something that I'm passionate. I love traveling. I love learning about everything, like in other cultures and countries and stuff. And I feel like it would be such an amazing opportunity to just understand how other parts of the world work. Like I would love to go back to Spain, or like you said, or experience Italy. It just shows that you can, although you may not know everything about that country, it shows that you are willing to take that risk to understand everything there. Just get a broader like interpretation and understanding of the world for yourself, and like it'll probably lead to like a bunch of enrichment for yourself.
Can I say something else real quick?
Yeah.
Sorry. I got you, bro. I got you. Okay, I just feel like too, like some people can't find like their true meaning and like where they are now. I feel like, cause me myself, like I've been like tackling this thing. I sometimes like I don't feel like Christianity is for me. Like I feel like I'm like with like another meaning or like a deeper like spiritual level than that. But I can't really discover it in the same house that I've been living in for 18 years, the same Christian household that goes to the church every Sunday and grows up on the Bible and whatnot. I feel like if I like really get out there and like figure out different religions, like experience them, then maybe like I could really find like my true meaning. And like I feel like that's something for some people that actually are in like the same state as me. So I just
You gotta go out there and explore it to see what's different.
Jonathan wanted it. Jonathan wanted it.
I'll let you go first. You got it.
Well, I'm about to direct it back to the passage.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so, well, when we were looking at the Netflix documentary, it was talking about how Virgilio, he didn't really feel like connected to Peru, like it didn't have anything to offer him, like in his early life. So I feel like him leaving and like traveling really was necessary for him to really get a feel of like back to Peru, because he just lived in this small area and he didn't know all that Peru had to offer for him. And even in like in his introduction to his cookbook, he says, even though the restaurant was packed every night, I felt I was cheating. Why was I cooking Peruvian food in Spain when the availability of the ingredients was so limited? I had to go to the source. So I feel like him leaving and going somewhere else really made him feel like, I want to do Peru, but I can't do it here. And it really made him be like, I need to go back to like home where Peru is and really kind of look at the land. And it helped him like, I guess, fall back in love with Peru and like all it had to offer and stuff. And so, yeah.
To what I was going to say with the other question, with if I would study abroad, I would definitely like to go to like Italy, because that's where most of my family's from, and I'd love to just explore where I've come from, where my family has been for millennia, and I'd love to go to like South Korea as well, because I mean they've got good food there. Honestly, a lot of what's driving me is food.
Hey, that's rest in peace. But I watched a lot of those Anthony Bourdain shows, you know,
Yeah.
because it's more than just about food, you know. And I saw the one in South Korea, which was awesome.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
Also Japan, just for the sushi.
Yes, he had a great one. Too.
I love sushi. I would probably take a place out of business with the amount I do. But
There might all right.
wrong.
Let me paint a scenario. Okay, Jonathan, let me paint a scenario. You have just graduated college. You're not exactly sure what you want to do, but you know you saw an ad in the paper or ad in the college job place. Teach English in Japan for a couple of years.
Heck yes.
Would you do something like that?
Yep. Yeah. I already know English, so
Yeah, you wouldn't necessarily be careful, because I had a cousin who did that, and he wanted to study karate, and he went like 35 years ago. He's still there. He married a Japanese woman, has Japanese family, learned to speak Japan, black belt in karate, and he's
yeah, that sounds pretty dope.
That's dope.
yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I would probably do that, because, well, not only that, there's good pay over there, and again, sushi. That's
All you can eat.
a main factor driving me over there. I mean, in all honesty.
I tell you, man, raw fish ain't me. Raw fish is bad. I don't see how y'all can. I don't even eat fish as it is.
There's a very famous. There's a very famous.
Yeah, I'm not so salmon. I'm not so salmon. But everything else,
There's a very famous Peruvian dish called ceviche. My mom used to make it. It's not cooked. It's cooked. It's like the limes and the chemicals of the
Yeah.
limes. You break it down.
That's like that too? I
Yeah.
don't like that too.
That's not for me.
I feel like Virgilio's experience was like a roller coaster, because he went up and down, but then when he finished the rides, he realized that who he became as a person. So then he went back and reflect on what he did, and it gave him the influences to use the ecosystem and understand the people and the culture to make incredible dishes.
I mean, how many people do that? Use a whole ecosystem, use it I mean, how many had he known that had done that?
Not really many. 'Cause, yeah.
Yeah, don't forget we have to get it water.
All right.